welcome back to another video on my channel. Today we're doing something a bit different as it is the day before Halloween, and in spirit of the spooky season I'm going to redecorate this adorable little house that you see behind me. I'm gonna make it even more Halloween-fied. As you can see, it's got like a cute little chimney. It's all done. Honestly, I'm quite pleased with it, considering I'm like, I'll just make a quick little house, and I don't think I did too bad. I like it. I think it's very cute. It's got this little front porch, and then you come inside, and it's got everything you need. Your armor, a place to sleep, a place to cook, to store, to sit and chat with your friends. A nice giant fireplace, because I wanted one. It is missing the enchantment table, but you know, I always figured if all else fails, you go underground. It's pretty much just a basic Minecraft starter house. So what I'm going to do today is just transform this into a spooky Halloween house step by step and give you some tips. I have 10 different tips in total. 3 of them are for the outside of the area, 2 of them are for the interior of the area, and 5 of them are fun little interactive things you can do to make your house a bit more fun and cool for those who might happen to visit. So without further ado, let's get into it with step number 1. So one way that you can add a bit of spookiness to your build is to build a little graveyard inside it. I said that way too happily, I'm sorry. But yeah, so I have some grave designs here. I like to use stone personally for my graves, but you know, you can use whatever. There's tons of different ways you can do gravestones and stuff, and you know, just look it up and you'll have lots of options. I have this as my little path. I've decided that grass does not grow in here, like that grass is too green, so I've used coarse dirt. And then I have these. You can actually place them on coarse dirt if you just, you know, harvest the things with shears, so you can still do that. I have a few cobwebs in the corner, as well as some little blood stains and stuff, just to add to that little creep. And even a head. Don't know how you'd get a head in normal survival, but I am in creative, so I do take advantage of it. I also have my walls are falling apart a little. That's why there's so many gaps in them, and there's mossy sneaking through it and stuff. So that's another way you can do it to add some age to your build. So now I'm going to move on to the second thing you can do outside to make your house a bit more spooky. So I'll be the first to admit that this is not the greatest looking tree in all the world. I don't make many trees, so I'm just trying my best here, but I still think this is a good example of something you can do, which is to make a dead tree. So I've used some of the darker wood here, and then I've got like soul lanterns hanging about it to be a bit creepy about the place and stuff. So that's just one thing you can do to add a bit more of a creep factor to your build, is to craft some dead trees about the place. This next thing I did does take a bit of time and some resources, which is adding the fog effect down into like the abyss. I forgot to light up the bottom, which usually helps, but yeah. And just, you can do these with different colors. 3 of my favorite personally are purple, the lime green you saw over there, and I also like doing red. I think red is also very Halloween-y. So that is something that you can do to add some spook, if you're willing to do something that takes a bit longer of time. But keep in mind, if you want to like end Halloween and you're done with whatever you're doing, you could just replace the top layer with dirt. And then, you know, when next Halloween comes, you just uncover that one layer and voila, you're ready for Halloween again. So that's just a suggestion if you want to do that work but don't want it all year round. You can still do it and cover it up afterwards. But that's the 3 things that I had for suggestions for the outside. So with that, let's move into the inside with 2 things you can do in there to make the house a bit more spooky. So one easy thing to spookify your house a bit is just simply lighting, switching out your fire for soul fire, adding in these spooky soul lanterns with the chains, or replacing your torches with silverware. Or if you're not into that and want to be a bit unique in about what you're doing, you can also replace them with like redstone torches, which adds an eerier lighting effect as well. Just switching that out can add a spooky effect, especially if we set the time to night. It definitely adds to the Halloween vibe to have like these darker lightings going about. On to step number 2. So this next step is all about doing the little things and combining them together to make a bigger impact. So I've done multiple things here to make the place look a bit more abandoned and spooky, such as adding cobwebs in the corners, in the ceiling. I've added a dead bush to give the thought of decay. I've added cracked stone bricks within the stone bricks, which definitely helps to add an aged effect. I've got this guy chilling out, I've got little blood spatters, and my favorite trick is to replace some of your windows with light gray stained glass panes, because it looks like your panes are dirty, like some of them are dirty. So you have these nice clean ones, but age has come along and dirtied it up, and mismatching them in definitely gives that feel that, you know, someone's been messing with your windows or you haven't been cleaning like you're supposed to, which again adds to that age effect. I've also replaced the bed with some darker colors, so that's another thing you could do. Like I could replace some of this furniture with darker colored furniture and stuff to add into the effect if you want to do even more stuff. So that's all the things that I have for the inside, but now I have some fun tricks that are very interactive that give your guests a little spook whenever they come to your house. So here's one of my first interactive things. If you've seen Hermitcraft episodes, you probably would recognize this. But you can have floating pumpkins that go about the place and that will look at you as you go, just by putting a snowman in a minecart. So I will show you. See, it's just a little snowman in a minecart, and the pumpkin head will go racing about. And yeah, and that's one way that you can have some moving pumpkins. You can make trails around your house with them. Have them pop up sporadically, do lots of cool fun things that you can do with this trick. And then, say Halloween ends and you're ready for a bit of Christmas, well, now it's a Christmas decoration! Isn't that great? So it's a decoration that you can quickly switch to Christmas once the Halloween season is over. Welcome to my home. As you can hear, there's some spooky sounds going on. So it's probably not the greatest thing for such a small house to have this, but in a bigger house, placing one of these guys every now and then could be fun. So all I've done is I've made a little room underneath my house, and I put some mobs that make some spooky sounds underneath. My favorites are the witch and zombie. So if you could get a ghast in your basement somehow, like, I'm sure that would terrify people, which could be fun. And there's others. You could do a skeleton if you want something a bit more subtle, or a spider I think is also a bit more subtle, but yeah, hiding these guys about in your house, they'll make a lot of annoying sounds that will spook out your guests as they're wandering about the place. We now have a dinner guest who's equally spooky to match the theme of our house. This took way too long because it took way too long to get him weaponless. I'll insert the time-lapse thing of me trying to get him weaponless before I gave up and did something else while I waited. But yeah, he's here, and if you could get a bunch of these guys just wandering about the place, honestly, like, go for it. They're cool, they're kind of spooky for Halloween, and then when you're tired of them, you just slit their throats and move on with your life. It's just that simple. But just don't forget to name them. You don't want them disappearing, especially considering how long it takes to get rid of their weapons. Alright. Alright guys, let's come around this beautiful tree of mine to the final points, which I'm combining number 9 and 10 together for the sake of time. And those are use of potions to help like increase the effects of people wandering through your house. So, you know, giving them either a blinding potion or slowness or a mix of them, just so to add to the spooks, maybe have it go off randomly. And the second one, it's traps. Fill your house with traps. I was hoping to do like the armor stand jump out trap, but that house is just way too small for that. So instead I present to you, yeah, it just splashes a potion against the wall when you walk around. I think I have poison, yeah. Gave myself some poison and stuff like that. So that's something I'd recommend. There's tons of like tutorials on YouTube and stuff of different traps you can make and stuff, and it shouldn't be terribly hard for you to find one that's at your level, that'll fit with your theme of your house, and you know, help immerse your guests into the Halloween spirit. So this is my finished house. I hope you guys like it, and that you find these tips useful. I think some of them are fun and cool. Some of them might seem a bit obvious, some of them might seem a bit goofy, but that's what we're about here on this channel. Anywho, I hope you have a beautiful and blessed day, and I'll talk to you guys again soon.